Hey everybody, Mike Meyers and Richard Chapman, two bald nerds coming at you with our breach of the month, which is gotta be the Ticketmaster thing, right, Richard?
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah. I
got
don't
a,
think there's
it's a,
anything else to talk about right now.
it is on top of the news these days, and I got to discover a new term, snowflake. At least in
Snowflake.
terms of IT, I never had run into the snowflake company, which
Mm.
ends up is really where the problem is. It's Snowflake customers, and Snowflake is a online cloud storage and support for whatever you might have,
Yeah,
classic cloud.
SaaS applications. Yeah, software as a
Sure,
service.
sure.
Yeah.
So and you know they got breached good. So how did it happen, Richard? What took place?
Well, first off, before I answer that question, I got to throw my coined phrase out there because I wanted to catch the snowflake effect. Because I honestly think that the second half of 2024 is going to be a lot of talk about the snowflake effect. Snowflake basically ultimately is the cause of this. A single solitary user was basically the cause of this. They had their credentials breached. They did not have multi-factor authentication on. So one user with no multi-factor authentication allowed for these threat actors who they call themselves shiny hunters, which if you heard about Santander earlier in the year, they actually claimed responsibility for the Santander breach, which is the financial institution, I guess, in Europe. Yeah, they're having a little bit of fun because I'm going to tell you like this. Snowflake has something like 9,400 something corporate clients. And they're saying that these credentials that were stolen could have potentially given the threat actors access to up to 400 different clients that they have. Now there's a long
400
list of
different Snowflake clients, and each
Snowflake
one of
clients.
these clients could have potentially millions of individual clients.
Exactly. And Ticketmaster is a perfect example. They
That was
are a
like
client of
300
Snowflake.
million, right? They
Oh
exposed
gosh, yeah, it's
yeah,
huge. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
craziness.
absolutely. Ticketmaster is just one of their clients, and they utilize the software as a service applications and things that and cloud storage and all that fun stuff that Snowflake has available. And that's just one corporate client, one large corporate client that is seeing a little bit of fallout from this activity. So I've seen a few different articles which are listing some other customers and clients that use Snowflake, but it's a little unclear as to if any other companies for sure have been breached. I think we'll probably start to see more as we continue to process through this situation. But at the moment, some of the other companies, I mean, Adobe, AT&T, Capital One, DoorDash, HP, Instacart, JetBlue, guys, these are large enterprises. Now, I don't know if they have anything going on, but there's definitely a very long list. The attackers have claimed that they have access to a few clients: Anheuser-Busch, State Farm, Mitsubishi, Progressive, Neiman Marcus, Allstate,
Good
Advanced
Lord.
Auto. Guys, I can tell you, unfortunately, three of those on that list I just mentioned, I have accounts with. So, let's just pile on
I might have a few there myself, my friend.
the free credit monitoring, right? I mean, it's literally, I'm never going to have to pay for credit monitoring ever again in my life, ever, ever. The credit monitoring companies are just going to be completely funded by corporations who are being breached. But yeah, big deal. I mean, Ticketmaster. I think when we heard that Ticketmaster was the breach, it's like, wow, that's a big one, right? They've got a lot of clients. But then again, it turns out it's not the client that they initially breached. It's a third party vendor that
Yeah,
that
no, but I mean,
yeah.
so I want to make sure I'm saying this right. Is there within Snowflake probably common applications that are used for development of one type or another? I don't know. Let's say some. I don't want to show my ignorance too much here because we're really coming into an area of weakness.
That's okay.
Often you'll see when you see people use a common platform, they tend to do common things in general. Now
Yeah.
I'm not at all trying to reduce the complexity of web development these days,
Mhm.
but it would make me wonder if across these 300 to 400 customers, is there this one thing that they've been able to do that, allowed them to leverage where they got.
Well, the crazy thing is, it doesn't even seem like it was that difficult. They didn't have to actually then exploit a vulnerability or a common platform. The common platform was compromised by the credentials. In other words, they got the credentials for that particular third party that all of them share.
Wait a minute, I misunderstood what you were saying.
Yeah, it's a different. It's almost like they got the keys to the kingdom to a certain degree.
Interesting. So you think
it's scary.
A single set of credentials that worked across?
That's everything that we're seeing. Mandiant is currently investigating it, and there's been there's been a lot of articles and so forth. As a matter of fact, I notated one of them. Hudson Rock, which is a cybersecurity, I think an intelligence company. I think they do IR process as well too. But they said, this is a direct quote from an article. It said, to put it bluntly, a single credential resulted in the exfiltration of potentially hundreds of companies that stored their data using Snowflake, with the threat actor himself suggesting 400 companies are impacted. So the threat of the possibility that 400 clients have been breached or potentially have access now, or the threat actors have access to, it does appear like some of that is coming from the statements from the attacker. I think there's going to be more investigation that's going to need to be able to, identify that and prove that that's the case. But these threat actors are proving to be pretty significant. They've done some pretty good work. I guess you could say, I don't want to put them on a pedestal, but they're obviously doing something right, because they're gaining access places. So, but yeah, pretty simple attack process here. Literally credentials via a phishing email or something to that effect, and direct access into the environment. That's the easiest way to get in. That's why phishing is such a big deal, and being able to stop it is such a big deal, because so many
ready? So what's the next step with all this? What's going to happen next, in your opinion?
I do think that the companies that know that they have potential risk are absolutely right now on call. They are investigating very, very deep. They're looking at all the threat intelligence that's being provided by Mandiant and whoever else is investigating these situations. And they're basically hunting. They're threat hunting. They're digging. They're looking to see whatever they can. They're trying to find out whatever they can to ensure that they don't have a breach in their environment. And part of that also is going to be making sure on their end that they're resetting credentials, rotating session keys and all that.
Yeah, I was going to say, because this isn't so much a patch. This is more of a procedural repair. Yeah. Absolutely.
Could be interesting. It really kind of depends on exactly what that user's credentials, exactly what it gave them access to. And I don't think we've heard or seen that just yet. So.
Wow, man, pretty exciting one. I have a feeling we're going to be talking about this one a few more times before we put it to bed.
I do. Yeah, I agree.
All right, folks, well, keep up with us. This is your Two Bald Nerds with our breach of the week. Let's keep an eye on Snowflake. It might be a what? Snowflake
effect.
Snowflake effect. And if Richard, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to bring back what bad ideas too. You ready? Streets ahead.
What? I don't even know what that is.
Streets ahead. Look it up. I'll talk to you guys later. I love it. We'll talk to you later, Richard.
Bye.
If you like Two Bald Nerds, check out our entire playlist right here. It's a lot of fun. We'll see you there.